In this video, you'll learn how to work on the OTC market, how to earn great profits there, and how to trade using our trading robot. All you need to do is watch carefully. Watch this video until the end, and then put all this knowledge into practice. And as a result, you'll be able to make money on weekends, as well as when the market is closed. So let's take a closer look at how to work on the OTC market to your advantage. Let's get to the video. Let's open the first trade on the Euro to US dollar currency pair. I select this trade, set the trade time to 1 minute, and now we wait for the signal. I get a sell signal, and right from here I open my sell trade. Later in this video, I'll share with you all the entry points that will help you. It's even better to trade on the OTC market. You need to understand this and not be afraid. Movements like these, our OTC market is very volatile, so movements like these are absolutely normal. So imagine it's like a regular market only. It's sped up about twice as fast. That's one way to describe it. The robot knows how to work in this market. That's why you can easily achieve a win rate of about 80% on the OTC market, even if you don't have it yet, but once you get a little experience. If you work with the robot for at least an hour or two, your win rate will immediately go up. Around 85 or even 90% confidence. That's why the most important thing is to practice, and then you'll be able to achieve really good results. Next, in this video, I'll show entry points using the robot. This is actually a really great tool that increases your success rate, and a lot of beginners don't know about it. I'll also show you how to set up and activate the robot, and accordingly, how to trade confidently on weekends. Let's move on to the next trade, and there we'll talk about entry points. And for the next trade, I'll open it for, let's say, $175. By the way, let me answer right away where you can get this robot right now. You just follow the link in the description, and there will be a link to this robot. You need to go to that link, activate it, and then the robot will give you all the instructions. How to use it, and of course, how to register on the platform. Yeah, if you're not registered yet, then the link under this video will take you to the platform registration. So go ahead and register, and then activate this robot. It's only available for the Pocket Option platform. Why is that? You can read about it in our. Anyway, I'll leave all the links in the description. Be sure to register and activate the robot if you also want to make money on the OTC market. Now, let's move on to the entry points and keep growing my deposit. So which entry point should you use? If you're not familiar with the OTC market yet, like I said, it's very volatile. That's why we need to use 5-second candles. I understand that for many beginners this might be pretty tough, but still, give it a try. Just try it. If it doesn't work out for you, if it's too fast, then switch to the 15-second candle. Now, let me explain how it works. The 5-second candle, for example, let's say you want to open a buy trade somewhere around here. Well, those are the conditions we have. Next, without waiting for the new 5-second candle, you open a trade right here. As a result, the price makes a move like this. In the moment, you get really scared, and then the price goes higher. So most likely, with the booster bot, your trade will close in profit, but with a very small move. If you had used the 5-second candles, then you would have opened the trade right here on the new 5-second candle. And accordingly, if a trade opened at this level covers this distance, then a trade opened here covers this distance. So this really adds safety to our trades. And for example, if we have, statistically, 0.8, actually not quite. Let's put it this way. The bear stats for beginners are about 70% profitable trades, but if we add 5-second candles, it goes up to 80%. The entry point affects us by 10%. In other words, it saves us from those losses where our trades close at -1 or -5 points. You can actually get a boost of anywhere from 10 to even 30 points on the OTC market here. It also works on the regular market, but only when the market is volatile. That's off topic. I'll show you how to open a trade on a 5-second candle. So, I want to open a currency pair, Australian dollar, Swiss franc. I go to the booster bot, select this currency pair, and choose the trade duration. 1 minute. And now I'm waiting for a new 5-second candle. I get a buy signal, and open a buy trade right from here. Look, here's what happened. So in the moment, we have an impulse, and it happened right after the 5-second candle. So I opened the trade right here, and we got an impulse. Here, basically, this entry point didn't work out. But if you had waited a bit longer, for example, you could have entered here. That's why we always wait until a new 5-second candle appears. Here we have a timer. By the way, for those who don't know how to turn on the timer, we go right here. And right here we have enable timer. We add it, turn it on, and now we can see exactly when a new candle opens or closes. Let's wait, and see how this trade closes. In theory, it should bring me a good profit already, a whole $161. So I'll slightly increase my balance. Let's watch how this plays out. Yeah, really? That's plus 40 points and plus $160. So I've already made a 50% gain. So for the next trade, I could open with 30%, which will be 250 bucks. Let's look at an example. I want to open the next trade on a currency pair, British pound, Japanese yen. I select this currency pair in the buy, set the trade time to 1 minute, and now it's really important to watch the new 5-second candle closely. By the way, notice that BoosterBot is telling me it's better not to enter a trade right now, since we got a neutral signal. In other words, the BoosterBot isn't confident right now, and it's letting us know that the chances of a successful entry are very low, while the likelihood of a reversal is very high. So, for example, if we go for a buy, there's a high chance it will turn into a sell. Similarly, if we go for a sell, there's a high chance it will turn into a buy. So, roughly speaking, right now the price is going to move as follows: up, down, and as a result, it's going to be really hard for us to catch the right entry point. That's why. Now you know, if the BoosterBot gives you this kind of signal, you just skip that currency pair. Pay attention to that. Now I'm choosing the British pound to US dollar currency pair. I'm switching to the BoosterBot to see what it tells us about this currency pair. The BoosterBot says sell, so we wait for a new 5-second candle and open a sell trade on it. As you can see, it's a small advantage. That's what we managed to get. So don't ignore those 5-second candles. They're actually a really useful tool. By the way, I want to remind all beginners that you'll find even more tools in our Telegram channel. How to make money, which strategies to use, who beginners should read up on. Basically, there's a lot more useful info there if you're just starting out. There are also free trading sessions that we hold every day. So check out our Telegram channel. I'll leave the link in the description. Now, let's take a look at our trade. Right now, the price isn't moving in our favor, but don't worry, this happens to us sometimes. If things don't work out, we'll cover this loss, especially since I have a way to do that. Yeah, unfortunately, this trade closed at a loss. It happens. Let's open the next trade for $300 to cover this loss. Look, don't be scared when it comes to risk management. I'm already confident in the boost strategy. I can work with these amounts. For beginners, I'd recommend working with smaller amounts, so that you're not afraid to trade with large amounts. That's why use smaller amounts if you're not confident. If you are confident, then you can work with the same percentage. Now I'm choosing the Australian and Canadian dollar currency pair. Let's see what BoosterBot tells us. BoosterBot says to buy. Right now, a new 5-second candle has just opened. I managed to enter the trade. Let's watch it in fast forward mode. As you can see, this trade is already pretty safe, meaning that even if I had a bad entry point, it wouldn't have mattered. Yeah, actually, this method with 5-second candles really helps, but not in every trade. As you can see, I'm taking $276 and, accordingly, covering my loss. Let's open the next trade for 300 bucks as well. Euro. Swiss franc is a pretty tense currency pair. If you see gaps like this, just skip that currency pair. But the British pound, Japanese yen pair looks pretty attractive. Let's see what the robot says about this currency pair. And it gives a sell signal, a new 5-second candle. And as you can see, there's just a tiny advantage, literally just a few points, but it really happened for us. So this is actually a pretty good method. Definitely use 5-second candles. They really do help. And also, let me remind you about this robot. You can activate it right now using the link in the description. If you're not registered on the platform yet, I recommend doing it. I'll also leave a registration link for this platform in the description. As you can see, this trade closes in profit and brings me $222. That means I've already doubled my deposit using BoosterBots. Simple entry points and no more analysis needed. You can do exactly the same. All you need to do is follow the link in the description right now. There's nothing difficult about it. Just activate the robot. It'll give you all the instructions, and you'll be able to get the same results. Also, I want to remind you that if you have any questions, just reach out to our support account. Our managers there will help you and provide all the information you need. And if you want ready-made strategies and to copy our trades, then join our Telegram channel. So make sure to check out the description of this video. I'll leave a lot of useful information there, both for beginners and for experienced traders. Doubling your balance in just a few trades is really not a problem. Anyway, the link is in the description. That's it for now. I'll say goodbye and see you in the next videos. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and give this video a like.